You have joined the organization as a developer, and your position is Oracle developer. So at the first day, you sit in your office, and your system is ready, and one application you have to run. Okay, though before that some knowledge sharing session has happened, but still you have to work with some application or software application, or maybe back end part of the database, right? You have to develop some procedure from the packages, some you have to debug some procedure. You may be solve some backend related issue, like any procedure is not running, any database related issue you have to solve. Okay, so but whenever you have to run the application where the problem arises, to see the to see where problem arises, right? So when you go to run the application or database application, the first page is showing your login user and password, right? So this is a database application, and whenever you are clicking over the icon on the application, it is showing your username, what's your username and what's your password. So you don't know username and password. Okay, so to whom you approach, or to whom how you get to know that, how you have to get the username, password. So this is very very important about the user, and how Oracle manage users, and how a database can be accessed by a user, right? So I'll discuss in this session about the user and other user management. So in this today's topic, I will discuss in very detailed discussion about the Oracle user management. Okay, so I will discuss about Oracle user account, number one, number two, Oracle user privileges, different privilege types with examples, connect, resource and DBA privileges, how we can see all users, roles, creating users, how to create a user, then creating roles, what is a role and how to create a role, then how to create or how to drop your user or roles. Okay, so I will give a detailed discussion, and I'll talk about a detailed discussion about Oracle user management. So this is a very important for a database administration or database administrator or senior developer, senior Oracle developer, to know the user management. Okay, so I'll discuss in detail about the Oracle user management in this session. So who are watching this video tutorial new, for them I am a my name is Robin, and I am a senior Oracle consultant as well as technical and corporate trainer and interviewer. So welcome to my Oracle and Unix training session for in RK SoftAcademy. So now I'll go to my discussion right now. So what is Oracle user account? So what is a user? Basically, first of all, what is a user? So user is basically a person who will access one system, right? So there is a Windows installed in our system, in our PC. So whenever we operate our system or PC, we have to create one user. Whenever we install whenever Windows is installed, it asks for creating a user account, right, to operate the system. So that is the Windows user to operate the our computer or our system, right? So in that way, the Oracle user is the same. To access the Oracle database, we have to create a Oracle user account, otherwise we cannot access the Oracle database. So this is called a user. So user basically a person who will operate the system. Okay, so here Oracle user is a person who will access the Oracle database. Fine. So then what are the user privileges? So first of all, we have to understand what is a privilege. A privilege basically the authority or permission. Okay, a privilege is basically a authority or permission to access some database object, okay, or to access some or all database object. So I repeat, what is a privilege? A privilege is a authority or permission to access Oracle database objects, okay. So these are the privileges, and user must have to have some privilege to access the Oracle database object, right? So this is the otherwise a user cannot access the database. So Oracle user must have some privileges to access the Oracle database and to work with Oracle database to run any database application. So whenever I said that your application is running and it is prompting you to put username and password, you have to put there your username for accessing the database and your password, so that the application will open and you can go to your work or you can do your work, right? So this is the scenario. Okay, so what are the different the third next point is what is the different types of privileges. So there are different types of privilege. First one is system privilege. So I'm writing here system privilege, and next one is object privilege. Okay, number B is object privilege. So there are some system privileges and object privileges. So what are the system privileges? System privileges like which actually create some database objects, which actually drop some database object, which actually alter some database object, or so basically create, alter, drop, these kind of privileges are called system privileges. So system privileges are create, alter, drop. So basically these are the system privileges, and there are many more privileges. So these are the basically we generally used for the system privilege to work with database, right? So create, alter, drop are the example of system privilege. To creating some database object, to alteration some database object, or modify some database object. So let's say one table is there, so or you have to create one table. So create table is a system privilege. So like create table, or so this is the just keyword, and the command will be create table or create index, create synonym, create sequence, like this. Okay, so objects are like table, index, views, synonym, then sequence. These are the database objects, right? I have all kind of videos on in my SoftAcademy, so you can just watch all the videos. Okay, so create is a system privilege. Then alter, modifying any structure of the database. So alter is a system privilege, like alter table is a system privilege, or drop. Okay, so drop is also a system privilege, like drop table, drop index, drop view, drop sequence, drop synonym. So these are all the system privileges. Okay, now coming to the object privileges. So what are the object privileges? Object privileges are the authority or permission to select or to update, or to manipulate the main goal is to manipulate the database object. Okay, to manipulate or view database object. Like select is a system select is a object privilege, like select. Then insert, so we can insert data into the database, we can update data into the database table, we can delete data from the database table. So these are all generally all the object privileges. Okay, and then it may be execute a procedure or function, So these are all the object privileges. Like we are without these object privileges we cannot see the data, or we cannot insert our required data into a database table, or update a database table, or delete some rows from the database table, or record some database table, or execute any PL/SQL procedure or function like this. So these all are called object privileges. Okay, so now next is number 4, connect, resource and DBA privileges. So these are the special privileges or permissions. So connect is the privilege to connect a database. So once a user is created for accessing the database, Oracle database, you have to have the connect privilege, so that you can connect with the Oracle database to with your user. Let's say your username with your name. Let's say your name is Sumit. Okay, so you create a username by a name Sumit. Okay, you have given a password. So every username has a password. So like this is a username and this is a password. So first you have to basically user have to be created by a database administrator, and developer basically do not have the right to create a user. So basically this is the database administration responsibility to create or to give permission to a developer or to a operator to access a application or to access a database, because access a application means access a database, right? Because application is running on the database, so that means you are accessing a application means you are accessing a database. So to access a database, it is the responsibility of the database administrator to create individual users. Okay, so once your user created, so user has to be created with a password. So there will be a username and password to access the application or to access the database, right? So once your user have to be created, the connect is coming here now. So here connect is a permission, you have to grant this permission. So grant this permission to access the database, otherwise you will not whether your user created or not, you will not access the database. Even your user is created, you will not access the database or database application. So you have to give the permission or grant the permission connect. So connect basically makes allow your user to connect with the database, okay, or to connect with the database application or database. So connect, and then what is a resource? So resource basically what are the database resource? So resource basically are as I said resource resource. Okay, so resource, what are the resource basically tables, views, synonyms, sequence, procedures. These are the resources. What are the objects or what are the available objects in the databases? These are the resources. Okay, so views, okay, like views, index, then sequence, then synonyms, procedures or functions. Okay, so these are basically to access these objects or these database objects. Everything are the database objects, right? These all are everything is a database object. To access the database object, to get availability of the database object, you have to give a resource privilege. Okay, so otherwise you will not your user will be created, you will connect to the database, but you will not these resources will be not available. You cannot have to you cannot access these resources. Okay, so that will be the resource privilege. You have to give the resource privilege to your user. So these are also the database administrator responsibility to give you the connect privilege. So connect privilege, resource privilege, right? And another is DBA privilege. So DBA privilege is the highest privilege, which generally not having a developer or not having a operator or application operator or whatever. DBA privileges the database administrator have the DBA privileges. So DBA is the super user who can create a user, who can grant any permission to the any user, like I have already said, grant, resource, these are the privileges. So DBA is the highest level of privileges, who can create a user, who can grant or grant other privileges to the created other users, right? So these are the DBA privilege. So okay, we will see. I'll show you how in how we can create a user, how we can give these permissions to that user. I will show you in practical, okay, after this discussion, right? So now next one, 5, is how we can see all users. So I will show you how we can see all users. Because a database might have many users, right? Because many developers working with the database, so everybody will have a separate user. User cannot be identical for two person. So database user must one user must have one person must have one database user to access the database, or to access any application, to run any application, or to work with any database, work with Oracle database. Okay, so whoever the all the users are working with the database, they must have separate database user. So how we can see all the users in our database? So I will show you. Next is roles. What is roles? Roles basically the collection of users. Okay, so what are the roles? Roles are collection of users. So ROLES. Okay, roles are the collection of not users, privileges. Okay, so roles are the collection of privileges, okay, or permissions. As I said, privileges are like select, insert, update. These are the object privileges, these are the system privileges. So collection of privileges, like more than one privilege. If you want to grant one user to more than one privileges, then we can create a role and we can grant this role to that user, right? So okay, fine. Then I will show you creating user. How to create a user, I will show you in practical. Create a role, how to create a role, I will say I'll show you in practical. And dropping user and roles, how to drop user and how to drop roles. Okay, I will show all these things in practical. Now go to SQL prompt. So I have already opened SQL prompt here. So I have actually opened two SQL session here. One is using Scott user and one is using system user. Okay, because system user is the database administrator user, and Scott user is a general user, right? Okay, like any person have any user, right? So what is the user I am connected right now? To see that what is the user I am connected now, I have to give a command show user. So what is this session is connected with user? Which user is the session is connected with which user? To see that, I have to write a command in a SQL command show user. Okay, if I give a command show user, it will give me the username through which I am connected with the database, right? So this is the Scott user, and if I give here show user and execute it, it will give me system user. So system user is a database user, database administrator user, and Scott user is a general user, right? So now I'll going to see you so I'll going to see you how to create a user. Okay, how to create a database user. Okay, so now how to create a database user. So I have to go to, because this creating a data, as I said before, creating a database user is the responsibility of a database administrator. So I have to database administrator connect with the system user or schema. Okay, and he will fire the command, this command, create user. To creating a user, the database administrator login into the database with the system privilege. Okay, with the system user or schema, and he will create a user firing this command. I am writing here, create user, let's say Sumit, and identified by, this is the command, identified by. So this is the command to create any user. Create user, username, this is the username, whatever you can give here, this will be the username, and identified by whatever you have given here is the password, right? So this is the command for creating a user. If I execute this command, it is showing user created. Okay, but though this user is created, I cannot connect to the database with my to the database with this username. Okay, so if I connect here, SUMIT, let's say I am entering database with another user, and I am going to connect the created user Sumit. Okay, so I have to what is the command for connecting any other user or any user? So this is the connect, con, or you can give the full connect full keyword connect, or simply con. Okay, or connect or con, whatever. So I am giving here con and Sumit, and then slash password. What is the password? This is the password I have created. So if I run this command, it is showing it is not actually connecting. Okay, right? So here is the role of a database administrator. So if he or she created the user, also he have not given you the permission to access the database. Okay, so that's why you are not able to go into your go to connect with your user here, right? So once I can give the connect privilege, as I described earlier, as I discussed already, database administrator have to have give connect permission or connect privilege to your username. This is the connect permission have to give to your username. So database administrator in the system schema, he have to give connect privilege to your username. So what is the command for that? The command is grant connect to username. Okay, so grant connect to username, that means connect that means after this you can connect with your new user. Okay, so grant connect to username, this is the command to give the connect permission to new user or any username. Okay, so it is showing grant succeeded. Okay, now I am saying I am showing step by step. Okay, now if you go to your here you can see, if you give the same command con Sumit, and then Sumit 1 2 3, and you can now see it is connected. That means once your database administrator give the connect privilege to your user after creating your user, if he or she give the connect privilege only, you can connect with the database. Okay, fine. Now I have to give the resource privilege. Okay, otherwise I cannot use the resources here. Okay, so if I give so I will show you how to give the resource privileges to your user. So this is the responsibility of the database administrator, as I already said. So again, grant, I have to write grant resource. Resource privilege, why I will give the resource privilege, otherwise I can connect with my database, or I can whenever my login screen in the application will appear, I will give the login user and password. Okay, but whenever I click over or enter then or click over OK, there may be a OK button, or there may be enter or whatever to entering the application after giving your username or password to the database application. Though I have the username and password, and I have the connect access also, but whenever I click over OK or enter, our application will connect to the database, but it will not fetch any of the database object, because in my database application lot of resources are have been accessed throughout my PL SQL program or SQL program, right? An application, behind an application there are lot of codes. What are the codes in database application? There Oracle database application, lot of codes writing PL/SQL codes, right? So in PL/SQL code we are accessing various database objects, tables, views, procedures, synonyms, like all these resources. Okay, so though my user is connected with my database, but I cannot my application will cannot work. Okay, because I have not the database administrator have not give the resource privilege to access these all these database objects. So this is the necessity of giving resource privileges to your new user, right? So I think you have understand my explanation or my discussion. So grant resource, so what is the command the database administrator have to give or write or execute? Grant resource, resource, resource to Sumit. Okay, so this is called grant succeeded. So once this is done, that means you can work with your application. Now your application is running, or your application is in the working state. You can access any forms. If you work with any Oracle Forms development, this is the Oracle the application is designed in Oracle Forms. Like Oracle Forms is a very popular database application interface tool or development tool. So if you have any form, you can just username and password you have given, you have logged in, and your application is now in the running state and it is working fine. You can access any of the you can navigate any of the navigate any form, any report, or any whatever. You can access anything in your application. Okay, or through the application. Okay, fine. Now connect and resource and DBA privileges will not give any DBA to you, any developer or any operator. But I will discuss here what is the importance of DBA privilege. Okay, so now the importance of DBA privilege is, once I have given the DBA privileges to your user Sumit, you can now create a user also for other persons. Okay, I think you have understood, right? Now I'm going to my I have connected with this user, right? with this username and password. So it is connected right now, but though I have connected with so now once I have connected here, I can create my database design, or I can create my table, I can create my views, synonyms, any procedures. Okay, so I can create my database objects here, or I can design my database here. Okay, so this is for the about username and how to create user, what is the importance of creating user, what is the importance of giving the connect privilege, what is the importance of resource privilege, what is the importance of DBA privilege. Okay, so all things I have discussed here. Okay, and also shown here, right? Now I'll move to next part. Okay, now how we can see all users. Okay, this is very important, how we can see all users. So once I have connected with my new user, I can see all the users, what are the users already there in the database. Okay, so how I can see how many users are there in my database, or how many users are working with the database. So I'll write select star from all users. This is the command, select star from all users. If I give here, you can see all the users for connecting the Oracle database, for connecting my database, whatever database I have using. What the username is there, it is showing all the username. These are the all username, and you can see your username also there. And here is the Scott user, which is automatically creates once the Oracle database installed. So these all are the created user automatically by the Oracle user, and I have created a new user Sumit. It is listed here also. Okay, fine. Okay, now roles. So I have discussed what is the roles. Role is a collection of privileges or permissions. So I can create a role. How I can create a role? So roles basically the collection of privileges or permissions. So what is the command for creating roles? The command is create role name. What is the role name? Let's say role 1. Okay, so what I am now discussing is, what is the command for creating role. So the command is create role name identified by role name identified by password. Okay, so this is the command for creating a role. Okay, the same if you match with your user if you match with the user creation, this is the same. Just you have to put here create role command. So create role name identified by password, right? And once you have execute this, you will create a role. You can create a role. I am showing you in practical. So I am let's say I'll create a role 1. So create role 1 identified by let's say role 1 2 3. See here role is created. Well, fine. Okay, now this is the creation of role. So I have discussed the role and creation of role also. So the creating user is already I have shown. I have shown the creating roles. Okay, now dropping user and roles. So how we can drop a user and roles? So I'll show you in practical how to drop user or roles. So I have created a user Sumit 1, and also I am connected with my user, right, Sumit. So once I cannot drop here connecting Sumit, right? So I am connected right now. Which user? This is the system. Okay, so which user? So okay, uh, whatever command I have executed here, select star from all users, this will work also in your user. Okay, I have executed in system schema, but if I system schema will be not accessible to developer or any operator or any Oracle developer. So once you connected with your user, you can see how many users are connected or how many users are using the database, how many users are existing basically in the database. So I'm writing the same command here. So select star from all users. If I execute the command here also in your schema or in your user Sumit, I can see all users. It will be all users. Yes. So select star from all users, right? See, in your user also you can see all the users in the database or who are the using this database, right? And your user is also there. Okay, now I am connected with my new user. This is Sumit, right? Now what is the discussion point? Discussion point is how we can drop a user or roles. Okay, so if within my connection I am connected with Sumit, but I cannot drop the Sumit, right? So and this drop is a system privilege. You do not have this privilege. The developer or operator generally do not have these privileges. This privilege is the database administrator have this privileges, usually drop any database objects. Okay, so I am connected here with system privilege, right? So this is the system. So once database administrator fire drop, what is the command for that? So dropping a user, what is the command for that? A user. Okay, what is the command? Drop user username. Drop user Sumit. Okay, this is the command for dropping any user. So I'll fire it, I'll execute it as administrator in the system schema. So drop, but I am connecting with Sumit, my username. So I will just connect with another user, Scott, because it is in use, and then Tiger, right? I am just connecting to another user, which is the default user connected right now. So now if I just execute show user, so it is showing Scott. So now I can drop this user, drop user Sumit. Okay, now see, it will take some time because it will searching for if anybody can accessing this user or any application is connected with this user. If anything, any user, any person or any application is connected with this user, it will not going to drop. Okay, and it will be in the holding state, right? So it will checking all these things. That's why it was taking some time, and finally it find out that nobody is connected or no with this user, and hence it is dropped, right? Now if I connect again with this Sumit user, it will be not connected. Okay, See, I am getting the same error in the beginning of before creating this user. Whatever I am getting the error, I am getting the same error because this is no longer exist. Okay, so now which user I have? I have no user. I have been no user. Once this type of error is comes, actually it will not connect it to any user, so I have to connect again Scott user. I'll check whether Sumit is there or not in my list of users. Tiger. So select star from all users. See here, Sumit is not there, right? So it is dropped. Fine. Understood, right? Okay. Now what is the next point? Dropping user already done, and dropping roles. Okay, I'll drop a role. So what role I have created? I have created a role with role 1, right? What role I have created? I have created role with name role 1, right? What is the command? This is the command, create role 1, right? So I have to drop here with because database administrator only can drop a role. This is a system privilege, so I am dropping this role, drop role. This is the command to drop a role, drop role name, right? This is the role 1. So I have created role with name role 1, so drop role 1, role dropped. Okay, fine. So okay, so I have discussed all the points, and these are very important points, and this all points I have discussed, as well as I have showing in practical way how you have used in your practical life. Okay, and this is the most important for the database administrator actually, because creating user, creating role, granting system privileges, these all are basically the responsibility of a database administrator. So okay, I have discussed all these points, all these things. This is the very important user management topic, and I have discussed in today's video about user management and permissions and privileges. Okay, so that's all for this discussion here right now, and I think this video was helpful for you, and this video was informative for you. And if you like this video, if you think that this video was informative, this video is helpful, if this video was helpful for your learning and you have learned from this video, just give a like to this video, and also comment below what you feel about this video. Just comment below if you like this video. Your comment is very valuable for me. And also if you not subscribe yet my channel, if you are a new visitor, just subscribe this channel to get all such or kind of important videos, and you can learn from my video and make your skill as well. So just give your like and comment below, and subscribe my channel, hitting the notification bell, so that you can get my notification for my next video. And also you can learn from my video and make your skill, and also share this video or a channel name or just link with your friends, colleagues, and also your whoever you know, so that they can come also this here and also see watch all the videos, and also make their skill as well. So I have already uploaded many videos here, SoftAcademy YouTube channel. Just watch all these videos. I have not opened my YouTube channel name, YouTube channel actually. Right now I am not connected with my YouTube channel. The channel name is same, that is SoftAcademy. Okay, So hopefully you have this video was informative for you. Just give a like, comment below, and subscribe my channel hitting the notification bell, and share my video with your friends, colleagues, and whoever you know, so that they can also learn from my video and come to my channel and learn from my video and make the skill as well. So if you want and also for your information, if you want any online training session, I am providing online training on Oracle and Unix technologies, different Oracle technologies like Oracle SQL, Oracle PL/SQL programming, Oracle database administrator, and Oracle database administration, Oracle performance tuning, Oracle database architecture and design, and also Oracle forms and reports development, and also Unix shell programming and scripting. So if you have you feel that you need a training, regular training, you need to grow your skill more deeply, you have to make your skill more you have more deeply, and more you have to want to grow your career in Oracle and Unix technologies, you can join my online training session. I am providing training for various MNC companies, their employees when they joined for Oracle and Unix technologies, and also candidates who want to get my training. Okay, and various candidates I already trained over last 10 years. So if you want to join my online training session, any of the technologies which I said, you just can connect with my number as you see in the description section below of this video, of any of the video of my channel SoftAcademy. In the description section you will get my WhatsApp or call or WhatsApp number. This is also showing here. This is the number of WhatsApp, or you can call me in this number, I will reply back. And also you can just ask any queries if regarding joining any training session, I'll reply, or you can email me on the email ID specified in the description section, I'll reply back on that. And once the short process have been completed, you can just join my online training session. Okay, so that's all for today's video tutorial session. I think you have enjoyed this video tutorial, and just give a like, give your comment, and subscribe my channel. That's all. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next video. Till then, have a great day. Bye.